Hey, greetings everyone. It's Glenn Kellaway from the basement. It's Saturday morning as I record this. Now, first of all, I want you guys to do something. Anybody who's in the background in your room when you're watching this, or tell everyone to be quiet because I need you to listen to something closely. So please, you ready? Okay. I'm going to count to three. You're going to hear this. I'm going to give it a few seconds. Okay. One, two, three. You guys figure out what that is? That's silence. Yesterday, my good friend Larry Graves, the Canadian Studmuffin, he decided to do a video. So let's take it back. Larry did a video called 10 Questions for His Viewers. Now, he was asking personal questions. He was asking questions like, what time do you get up in the morning? What time do you go to bed at night? Just those kind of stupid questions. But the last question was, what's your favorite American band? Now, I knew he was fishing, man. He wanted everybody to say the Beach Boys, Larry. He was looking for some kind of reinforcement for his feelings that the Beach Boys are a great band. The Beach Boys were a hits band in the 60s. That's what they were. Can I just go back and do a bit of a history on pop music record sales? So, at one point, when rock first hit, up until probably just the Beatles, maybe their second album, the whole idea was to have a hit song, a hit single, sell a 45. That's what made money, was 45s. People, LPs were not a big deal. LPs were basically, you'd have a hit song. Then what you would do is they would take you in the studio and they would find all these songs from somewhere. There was very few people who there wasn't a lot of Buddy Hollies out there writing their own. They would get songs from the Brill Building in New York or wherever the songwriters were, and they would just get you to record a bunch of B-sides and fillers. They would release the album and call it by the name of the hit song. You know, if the name of your song was Jump in the Lake, the album would be, Glenn Kellaway, Jump in the Lake. And that would get people to buy some albums too. But it was always to focus, to advertise the single, push the single, push the single. Then, sometime around, I don't know if the Beatles were really responsible for it. I always think they were. The album became the focus, and I don't think that was true on the first Beatles album. It was called Please Please Me, which was the hit single. And but the second album with the Beatles, it did not advertise a song. I'm trying to think of what the Beatles had a lot of hits on it, not one or two, and then from then on, albums became the focus at some point. I mean, people still wanted hit songs. Don't get me wrong, but the album became the vehicle. Like you went into the studio and focused on making a good album, a solid album. Most people did. The Beach Boys didn't. They continued on this road of, Help Me Rhonda, and then put out an album of crap with Help Me Rhonda on it. That continued until right up until they weren't even getting any hit songs on the radio anymore, and then they were just making crappy albums. Like I'm not one to crap on people. I never mentioned the Beach Boys, so let's get that settled here. I've never come on my channel once and just crapped on the Beach Boys. I never even mentioned them. They're not in my musical world. So Larry Graves wanted to do. He falls in love with the Beach Boys, which is fine. If you love the Beach Boys, knock yourself out. I'm happy that you found an artist or a band that you love. That's great, because that's what it's all about, the passion of music. So Larry invites me to do a CD exchange, album exchange, and I know he wants to shove the Beach Boys down my throat. and he thinks he's going to convince me that the Beach Boys are fantastic. So he gives me these 2 albums, and I don't like them. I didn't like them at all. And a Brian Wilson album, I would not listen to those albums in a million frickin' years. But I was asked my opinion. I didn't offer an opinion. Larry wasn't on his channel, and I went on there and went, "Oh, those albums suck, Larry." He asked me to review them, and that's what I did. Gave an honest review of my opinion. So let's get started there. So ever since then, he's got this bug up his ass that he can't convince me that the Bee Gees or the Beatles are any good. The Beatles, Bee Gees. He got me all flustered. The Beach Boys. Okay, so anyway, yesterday he gets a 10-question video. So what I do is I answer it in a comedic kind of way, like I usually do with him. I'm usually playful with my answers on his videos. And the 10th question, when he said, "Who's your favorite American band?" Because I knew he was fishing for reinforcement on I answered the Beach Boys. And then I went, "Oh, sorry, I thought you asked what band would I like to shove up a Canadian Studmuffin's butt." I thought it was funny. And then I think he took offense to it. So he comes out with this video yesterday, pretending he's all upset. First of all, he starts off with that, that sincere Larry Graves way he's got, where he talks really low and really soft, and he's trying to make you think he's a really nice guy. He starts talking about how he was so happy that everyone responded to his 10 questions and everything was great, and he wish he could get everyone in the same room and have a group hug except for one person. Then he singles out my responses and starts reading them, and he gets his army. So Larry, this is like David versus Goliath. Larry's got 50,000 frickin' viewers, and I've got 2,400. Like, I'm a piddly little guy. I'm a grain of sand on the beach. Larry is the driftwood all over the beach. I'm like nothing. So, but he decides he's got to pick on me and get his followers, who are kind of like, they're like, if you ever listen to Howard Stern in the early days, when he would get his followers were just rabid, and if he got them riled up against a celebrity or something, man, that celebrity couldn't walk down the street without getting hassled and Baba Booey and called names, and it was like merciless. It was actually cruel. And that's what Larry's doing to me now. He's got his army of followers just making these mean-spirited comments about me, and he's not even sticking up for me. Not even sticking up for me. Here's some of the comments. One guy called me Mr. Calloway. That's my dad. I'm Glenn. Mr. Calloway, stuck in the captivity of negativity. Not a nice place to be. Ignore bullies, and they'll eventually go away. I'm a bully, and I'm negative. I'm the most positive guy in the frickin' world. I come in here, and I'm always cheerful. I'm always happy. Anybody who knows me in real life knows I am the most positive human being on earth. I always look for a positive outlook on things. I'm the happiest man. If happiness is on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 11. Larry said the other day he was a 7. Well, that's too bad, but I'm not. I'm a 10. I couldn't be happier. I got a beautiful wife. I got an amazing dog. I have a nice house. I got my world is filled with great music. I got 2 beautiful daughters, an incredible granddaughter. I've got the world by the balls. At my age of 71, I'm happy, healthy, food on the table, roof over my head. That's all I ask for. Everything's great. Okay. Another comment. Hang in there, Larry. We are here to build you up. Negative forces like this are there to test you. How you are handling this is very impressive. What, crying like a little baby? Okay. Please don't let a toxic person get to you. I'm toxic now. Toxic. You guys better put a mask on your face here. I'm toxic. Toxic. Sorry to hear you are having a problem with this person. If it was me, I wouldn't deal with this person. Well, thank you. Take that advice, Larry. I remember a video where Glenn was making fun. This is a good one. I remember this is the one that hurt the most. I remember a video where Glenn is making fun of your glasses. Well, he wears ladies' glasses from the Gloria Vanderbilt collection. I can't help it. I just stating the obvious. This from a guy who has the worst hats on YouTube. Mazzy's hats are much classier. Well, let's get something straight here. Mazzy and I are friends, and I wish I had Mazzy's hat collection. I wish I had Mazzy's money. I don't. I get free hats from my daughter. You know what I mean? I'm a retired guy on a pension. Mazzy's a man of means, as far as I know. He's done quite well for himself, and good for Mazzy. I love you, Mazzy. But I wish I could afford $300 fedoras. I'd be wearing them all the frickin' time. More. Don't let bad apples ruin the whole basket. I'm a bad apple. Macintosh. I like Honeycrisp. They're really good. Here's one. Glenn sounds like a real prick. Okay. That's what I got. All right. So let's talk about Larry. This man, first of all, he calls himself the Canadian Studmuffin. I don't know if you know this or not, but he's not even a real Canadian. He was born in Winnipeg. So I don't know where that's like, enough said. Larry's a racist. Did you know that? He's a racist. He doesn't like glutens. Now, what's wrong with glutens? They're all nice. You can't put all glutens in the same box. They're like anyone else. There's good and bad. I love the glutens, and I am on a campaign to free the glutens. I don't want the glutens, put down anymore. Like, the glutens should be free. Free the glutens. Okay. Well, he said he wouldn't talk to me for 24 hours, and we are in the. I think that video was uploaded about 2 or 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So by 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon, we'll see when he comes crawling back, because he wants me to come over and. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but Larry can't. He's got chronic pain, and he doesn't like it when I tease him about his chronic pain. But that's what friends do. They get you where you're most vulnerable, and they kind of dig at it in a loving way, and it kind of takes your mind off. It kind of like helps you deal with it. It's good. It's a good thing. So anyway, I want you to know the things I do for Larry. Do you know, like, he calls me, his pain is so bad that he can't bend over, and I go over and I clip his toenails for him. Like, what kind of a friend would do that? Me. That's the kind of guy I am. Man, sometimes he can't change his own diaper. I go over and help him. I wear gloves. But the hell's that under my fingernail? Oh, forget it. Anyway, I just do stuff like that. And I don't ask for any thank you, nothing. Just, Larry, if you need me for anything, just let me know. Sometimes he can't afford groceries, and I go and shoplift some stuff for him. Like, I can run faster than him. So, and I drive him to Kingston. You know how painful that is to sit in a car with Larry Graves for an hour each way. Oh man! Then he buys me lunch, buys me a sub, and doesn't let me get the chips and the cookie. Like, how thankless. Anyway, it's enough. I've rambled on for 15 minutes about this. Some people you just love no matter how they treat you. It's like a dog. If you kick a dog, it keeps coming back for more. I'm like the dog in Larry's relationship. But I keep coming back because I love the man. He's a decent guy, but I wish he would return some of that love back and quit getting his people against me and making me look like toxic and negative and a prick. Oh my God, it's wow. Anyway, 24 hours are almost up. Let's see what happens. I love you, Larry.